Together we can, united forever, taking a stand as we celebrate each other.
We've got the chance to make a change for the better. It's in the old and the new, we're breaking through, dedicated for forever.
We're learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, leaving a mark, breaking the mold, going all in and taking control. Actions speak louder than words. You've got to put in that word. We're out here making that turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. When we coincide, we all belong, side by side. Yeah, we've grown strong.
And the vibe, this is the anthem to our song. Don't hide when we've got the pride. Just look how far we've come along.
We're learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, leaving a mark, breaking the mold, going all in and taking control. Actions speak louder than words. You've got to put in that word. We're out here making that turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. Actions speak louder than words. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. Actions speak louder than words. Got to put in that word. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. Actions speak louder than words. Got to put in that word. Together we can, united forever, taking a stand as we celebrate each other.
We've got the chance to make a change for the better. It's in the old and the new, we're breaking through, dedicated for forever.
We're learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, leaving a mark, breaking the mold, going all in and taking control. Actions speak louder than words. You've got to put in that word. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. When we coincide, we all belong, side by side. Yeah, we've grown strong.
And the vibe, this is the anthem to our song. Don't hide when we've got the pride. Just look how far we've come along.
We're learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, leaving a mark, breaking the mold, going all in and taking control. Actions speak louder than words. Got to put in that word. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. Actions speak louder than words. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. Actions speak louder than words. Got to put in that word. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA. Actions speak louder than words. Got to put in that word. We're out here making heads turn, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA.
Yeah, I know, right? Wait, what'd you say? The last session's about to start? Where is everybody? I gotta go find them. we have to go. What are you doing?
I'm grilling.
The last session is starting. Come on.
Where's Sydney at? Oh, there she is. Sydney!
Sydney!
What are you doing? The last session's
on,
about to
let's
start.
go.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, Virginia!
Hey,
Convince us to
Virginia.
start. What are you doing?
Oh, I was just working on my
Come
challenge.
on, go! Matt!
Matt, wake up.
Here he is!
Matthew.
Come on, Matt!
Come on.
Session.
Go!
Jake, convention's about to start. You can't be picking and grilling. Come on, Dirk.
Let's go.
I'm so glad we found everyone, but I feel like we're missing something.
The members.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go to the last session.
convention will come to order. We are now holding the fourth and final general session of the 93rd Annual South Carolina FFA State Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
For the final time, stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The Reporter.
For the final time, the reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that stretches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The Treasurer.
For the final time, stationed by the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The Secretary.
For the final time, stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here, by the owl. The owl is the time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based upon true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. I assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over the meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of darkness and selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, for the final time, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are countless guests, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this session of the 93rd Annual South Carolina FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business and attention to any matter which may properly be presented. Good morning, South Carolina FFA. Welcome to the fourth and final general session of the 93rd Annual South Carolina State FFA Convention. Your co-chairs for this session are your Region 4 Vice President from the Ashley Ridge FFA Chapter, Virginia Cackley, and your Region 3 Vice President from the Indian Land FFA Chapter, Jake Faulkner. I would like to welcome Virginia and Jake to the podium.
Thank you, Kylie. Good morning, members, advisors, and guests, and welcome to the fourth and final general session of the 93rd South Carolina FFA State Convention. We have a lot of exciting things happening in this session, including the retiring addresses of our State Secretary, Sydney Gambrell, and our State President, Kylie Cathcart.
We will also recognize our individual FFA awards, proficiency awards, our excelling chapter memberships, and recognize our top 3 CDE teams. We will also recognize the parents of our current state officers. And finally, we will announce the 2020-2021 South Carolina State FFA Officer Team. Who is ready for an amazing, energy-packed, and exciting final general session?
Actions speak louder than words, and together we can change the world. We are the FFA.
The individual FFA award is used as an incentive to encourage agricultural education students to maintain high academic standings in school and recognize those who are well-rounded in the FFA, their supervised agricultural experience, leadership, and community service. One student from each region was chosen as a winner, and from these an overall state winner was chosen. This hard-working individual will receive a $500 scholarship sponsored by the FFA Foundation, which can be put towards the expenses of National FFA Convention, Washington Leadership Conference, college, or other school and FFA-related activities and expenses.
I am pleased to read the names of the regional winners for the individual FFA award. Region 1, Haley Campbell from the R.D. Anderson FFA chapter. Region 2, Autumn Bates from the Thurman FFA chapter. Region 3, Damian Graham from the Aner FFA chapter. And from Region 4, Lonnie McKenzie from the Technology Technical Center. FFA members, your state winner is Lonnie McKenzie from the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. Congratulations to all of our winners.
Agricultural education stands above any other curriculum because of its hands-on learning inside and outside of the classroom. Students use their knowledge learned in class to go into their homes and businesses and conduct a supervised agricultural experience, also known as an SAE. These students who go above and beyond to expand their SAE are recognized with proficiency awards, which are used to encourage students to exceed expectations. These awards consist of a $200 cash prize, which the students may use to put towards furthering their programs. These proficiencies will also be submitted for national recognition. The following students have truly gone above and beyond with their SAEs. Jake, please introduce the members.
Agricultural Education, Sydney Gambrell, Pendleton. Agricultural Mechanics, Design and Fabrication, Christian Holden, Aner. Agricultural Mechanics Repair and Maintenance, William Grant Prosser, Aner. Agricultural Services, William Carson Andrew, Aner. Agri-Science, Animal Systems, Ryan Phillip Schrank, Lexington Technology Center. Agri-Science, Integrated Systems, Caden Gates, Nation Ford. Agri-Science, Plant Systems, Victoria Gillis, Lexington Technology Center. Beef Production, Kelsey Bradshaw, Crescent. Diversified Agriculture Production, Nicholas Vaught, Aner. Diversified Crop Production, Dalton Davis, Aner. Diversified Livestock, Gracie Helms, Central. Equine Science, Nathan Roberts, Aner. Forage Production, Colby Jeffrey Todd, Aner. Fruit Production, Dakota Glenn Roberts, Aner. Goat Production, Veronica Nicole Courtville, Lawrence. Grain Production, Bradley Rabin, Aner. Landscape Management, Chase Martin, Aner. Nursery Operations, Grayson Taylor, Aner. Outdoor Recreation, Frank James Howard, Aner. Poultry Production, Cody Clary, Saluda. Small Animal Care and Production, Damian Graham, Aner. Specialty Crop Production, Blade Rabin, Aner. Swine Production, Thomas Gask, Aner. Turf Grass Management, Joshua Thomas Duke, Aner. Vegetable Production, Garrett Jones, Fort Mill. Vet Science, Kyra Meyer, Nation Ford. Wildlife Management, Joshua Johnson, Aner. And now I would like to welcome Miss Lacey Lagrune for a special introduction.
As Sydney's art teacher, years ago I witnessed her passion for art deepening right alongside her passion for agriculture. All of the experiences she gained with FFA provided inspiration for her artwork, and vice versa. Through our conversations during our countless hours of working side by side, Sydney and I developed a friendship that has lasted beyond her time in high school. And over the course of our relationship, there have been many attributes that I've come to admire about Sydney. Her drive, commitment, perseverance, her willingness to help and support others. I could continue to list. One in particular I admire most is the way that she fuses her love for art and her innate creativity with her desire to advocate for agriculture. Sydney views the world through a unique lens, and her one-of-a-kind perspective allows her to blossom in any role. It is my honor to present to you my former student and dear friend, your South Carolina FFA State Secretary, Sydney Gambrell.
My mom and I would have the time of our lives during the summer together at home. And by the time of our lives, I mean sitting beside each other on the couch to watch some pretty classic TV shows. Some of my favorites were Columbo, Dawson's Creek, and Murder, She Wrote, to name a few. Well, one day, as usual, we sit together on the couch to find something good to watch, and next thing I knew, I saw these 4 crazy old ladies that my mom had turned the TV show on. This is probably what my face looked like while I was thinking to myself, what are we about to watch? Then the song, "Thank You for Being a Friend," traveled down a road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant, came on the TV to welcome these 4 famous ladies, the Golden Girls. Rose, Sophia, Blanche, and Dorothy were there for each other as genuine friends and family. Granted, this show was something that me and my mom would have a good laugh together during the summer with, but now means so much more. The Golden Girls, they taught me how to be a friend, and a good one at that. These ladies, they experienced life's challenges, honesty amongst one another, and the meaning of friendship. They show their audience how to root for one another through fostering their friendships and always being patient together. As Sophia reminisced on her days in Italy, I reminisced on some special women that have rooted for me in these ways too. During all 4 years of high school, there was never a week that I couldn't be found in the art room. Whether I was in an art class, catching up on life with Miss Lagrune, or staying after school to complete an art project, I was always there. During my time here and somewhere in between 5 classes, I met a girl named Ansley. Our friendship quickly stemmed from questions, advice, and simply seeing each other around the art room. We even went to the National Art Honor Society State Convention together, shared our artwork with one another, and always laughed at our friend Gabe's silly comments. We both worked hard, we always encouraged each other, and we wanted to stay in touch the best way we knew how once I moved away for college. After moving 2 hours from home last fall, I wanted to stay connected with my family and friends back home the best way I could. Well, anyone knows that keeping in touch can be a lot easier said than done. I get caught up with my schoolwork, chapter visits, family, and just life sometimes. After a long day of classes one day, preparing for a workshop, an interview, and somewhere in between all of that, trying to remember to eat lunch, I felt defeated. It was just one of those days that I could not get caught up for reaching out to my peers or trying to please others. And by no means do I regret being a busy student or a reliable friend, but I was drained. Once I finally had the chance to sit down and relax, I shared a post on my social media that said, "She believed she could, but she needed a break, so she said no." It was almost as if this post had been posted just for me to see after my long day at school. Well, not too long after sharing, Ansley reached out to me, and for a moment I thought to myself, I wonder what she's been up to. We haven't really talked much lately. I hope she's okay. She had responded to the message that I shared, reminding us it's okay to say no sometimes. When I opened her message, I read her words that said, "We shouldn't have to spread ourselves thin to be valuable." I read Ansley's words over and over and over again. We shouldn't have to spread ourselves thin to be valuable. How incredibly powerful is that? These words were the last thing I could have expected from the looks of the rest of my day, but Ansley, she didn't know that. All Ansley knew was that I had posted something I'm sure she could relate to, and through her impactful message, she was letting me know that I wasn't alone. Even though Ansley and I had gone a while without talking to each other, she took the time to ask herself, what does Sydney need right now? Her words struck me more than she could have ever known or expected. She was rooting for me from just a text away. If we know our friends' needs, like Ansley knew mine, then we can possibly fill those needs when they need them most. When they're having that rough day or they feel as if they have nothing left to give, we should step in and pick them right back up when they need it most. Ansley knew how to help me by being my friend in the art room, and you can root for your friends by doing the same. Rooting for each other can be inviting a friend to lunch, or writing them a special card in the mail, congratulating them on their new job, or wishing them luck on their next exam. It can even be reaching out to a friend you haven't talked to lately, like Ansley and me. Rooting for each other won't always look the same, and that's okay. Even if we don't know what kind of day they may be having or how they might be struggling, one thing we do know is our friends and how we may be able to help. So, take a moment to consider what kind of qualities are in your friendships. Do you guys like humor? And if so, maybe reaching out to make them laugh will be exactly what they need. Does your friend like hugs? Greet them with a hug next time to brighten their day. How will you use these unique qualities that you have in your friendships to spread encouragement? We shouldn't be afraid to root for each other, especially when the door is already open being their friend. In the same art room that I met Ansley in, I met one of my greatest mentors and friends. Miss Lagrune and I, we have had our fair share of silly, long, and rough days together. She has seen me cry. She has seen me laugh. She's seen me in some of my best moments and in some of my worst. So, needless to say, we have had so many good times together in the art room. One memory I will never forget happened on the last day of school, sophomore year. Procrastination had gotten the best of me. This project was the most detailed project I had ever created yet, so it was so extremely important for me to finish it. I spent hours upon hours on this project, both at school and at home. I think it took me so long to finish simply because I didn't want to mess it up or I was afraid of moving forward. The last day of school rolled around, and I don't know about you guys, but the last day of school is supposed to be the most laid-back day of the year. Not this year, though. Before school had even begun, I was already walking into the art room with my hands overflowing with pencils, paint, and my final project. Through my traveling from the car, into the building, into the art room, I barely made it inside without dropping it all onto the floor. Luckily, though, I did make it in, and I tossed everything out of my arms and onto the art table, and I got to work. I worked on this project all day, practically skipping all of my other classes, but with permission, of course. I needed to get this project done before 3:30. And with only a few final touches remaining, I look over to my best friend and I say, "I think I got this." And before I could even finish, his phone drops out of his hand, landing on the pallet full of paint right beside my final project. You could imagine my face. I was devastated. I rushed out into the hallway to have a complete breakdown. Miss Lagrune took it into her own hands to uncover black, green, and blue paint splattered all over my project that I had worked so hard on. After I finished crying, I gathered myself and entered the art room to finish what I had started. And before I could even say anything, Miss Lagrune looked at me and she said, "It's okay, Sydney. That's what I'm here for." She was there for me in a time of need when I needed it most, even though she probably had so many other things going on that day in the art room. Rooting for each other and being there isn't always going to be the easiest. Miss Lagrune, she remained patient with me and ultimately made herself available when I needed it most. As we all embark on our different journeys, we need to continue making ourselves available for those around us. Being open and willing to being supportive, encouraging, and present is so extremely important when learning to root for those around you. It's going to take effort to remind ourselves to root for each other because it won't come easy, but sometimes it's going to feel like we have to remind ourselves to root for each other because it won't come easy. And sometimes it may feel like it's a lot easier said than done, but as long as we are willing to try, then we can. And once we're willing, we have to do just that. During this, I have learned the value of hard work and patience within my friendships. Being a friend, it can be hard, but rooting for them can be even harder sometimes. As we root for one another, we will learn to navigate the hardships our friendships may bring us from time to time. Learning to be a strong and authentic friend will take time, but you're going to get the hang of it. I'm still getting the hang of it. I have been incredibly blessed with family and friends like my amazing parents, Miss Lagrune, Ansley, my state officer team, and so many others. But I know that's not the case for everyone. And that's why it is so extremely important that we be companions, that we be fighters, that we be advocates and friends for those around us. So for a moment, I want you to consider the friend you see yourself to be. Do you wait to be encouraged before you can encourage those around you? How do you encourage others? Do you pour your heart out into the one sitting beside you, and if so, how? How do you see yourself as a friend, and what does it mean to root for others? It is so incredibly important that we root for each other wholeheartedly and be there for the ones we love when they need it most. During this time, we are experiencing changes every day from our normal lives as we are remotely learning, graduating from a distance, becoming pen pals, and some hope of connection, and even joining virtually for the 93rd South Carolina FFA State Convention. It is more important than ever that we root for the ones around us. It's extremely easy to feel isolated during a time like this while we are separated from our ordinary lives. So, how are you rooting for those around you? How are you being a good friend, like the Golden Girls? What you learn from this time may stick with you forever. So reflect, learn, and create love so you can root for those around you better than ever before. Be a Miss Lagrune when they just spilt paint all over their final project. Be a friend that shouts for others from afar. Be you and be there. Root for others wholeheartedly. Root for others even when you don't know they need it most. Root for others to create love amongst each other. Root for others because you know you can and because you know you should.
Sydney, thank you for your selfless love, your unbelievable year of service, and your amazing artistic skills. You amaze us each and every day. Love, Jake, Kylie, Virginia, Matthew, and Cooper. South Carolina FFA, your State Secretary, Sydney Gambrell.
As members, y'all see a lot of work that we put into this year. However, there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make all of this possible. These next individuals have seen us at our strongest and at our weakest. They have seen us smile and they've seen us cry. And they've probably even changed a diaper or two. They have supported us long before we were involved with the FFA. Throughout this year, they have listened to us practice speeches and stayed way past their bedtimes to make sure we made it to our destinations safely. They have always asked if we needed help, an ear to listen, or anything else you could imagine. They have put in a lot of time hosting our team members in their houses and have helped us out as much as possible. Our parents are the reason that we are here before you today. And although we should probably show our gratitude a lot more than we do, we are thankful to them for their support. Members, advisors, and guests, please join me in recognizing some of the most important and amazing people in our lives.
Dad, thank you for being my best friend and role model. Over the years, you have taught me to love agriculture and the outdoors. I count myself so lucky each day that I get to wake up and call you my dad. One day I hope that I can be the father that you are to me and Becky. Thank you, Dad, for all the things you have taught me and all the things that I'm sure you will, to many more hunting, fishing, and hiking trips. Mom, thank you for being the best mom in the world. You have been by my side through all the late nights of homework, listening to speeches, making sure my official dress was ready to go, and helping me any way that you possibly could. Thank you for all the years of teaching me to cook, the laughs, and the love. I'm blessed to call you my mom. Becky, you're the best sister I could ask for. Even though you're my younger sister, you have always been by my side. Thanks for keeping me up to date on what's cool and telling me what text abbreviations mean when I don't know them. Even though we don't get to spend the time together that I would like and disagreeing sometimes, I'll always be by your side to be your big brother and to look out for you. Dad, Mom, and Becky, thank y'all for always being there when we need each other and for making me part of who I am today. I'm blessed to call y'all my family. I love y'all so much.
Mom, thank you for being the person I can always talk to and know you will be on my side. Thank you for always being there for me whether I'm excited or need to cry. I know I can always count on you. Thank you for always driving me to swim meets and anywhere I needed to go, and for always texting me to make sure I got somewhere safe if I was driving on my own. Thank you for always being my #1 fan, and know I will always be yours. Thank you for showing me what kind of woman I should be. I know if I become half the woman you are, I should thank my lucky stars. Dad, thank you for being the person who created my passion for agriculture. Even when I was younger and had no clue what I was doing, you let me help you with yard work and tend the garden. Thank you for showing me how I should be treated and for being someone I'm always able to look up to in my life. God knew what he was doing when he made you all my parents because I couldn't ask for anyone better for me. Duncan, I'm thankful for how close we've gotten. I know if I ever need a laugh or advice, I can always turn to you. Thank you for always having a game ready to play when I get bored and for being there for me when I need you. Locke, I'm thankful for how close we've gotten this year. I know we fight sometimes, but I know it's always out of love. Even though you are younger than me, you have taught me lots about being patient and being kind to others. Thank you for always having a kind heart, for all of the fun jam sessions in the car on the way to school, for always being down for any of my crazy adventures, and for always having a story to tell. I truly couldn't ask for better parents or better siblings.
You all made me the person I am today, and I'm extremely grateful that God gave me a place in our family. I know I don't say it often, and definitely not enough, but I love you guys.
Mom, words cannot describe how much I love you. You have been there for me through thick and thin. I don't know how you have put up with me this long. From making you listening to Lance and I sing, showing you my hat collection when I know you don't care to see it, and myself being the most unorganized person ever. All those times you stayed up with me to make sure I had that paper wrote, a shirt washed, or that speech memorized. Thank you. I think the only thing that is bad about you is that you don't like tuna fish sandwiches. I can't comprehend that. I don't know how you have put up with all of us boys in the same household, but you haven't left yet. As the Backstreet Boys once said, you are the perfect fan. I love you, and nothing will ever change that. Thank you for all you do for our family and myself. I love you, Mama. Love, Cooper. Dad, or as you want us to call you, Peepaw, you have taught me everything. How to farm, how to cook, how to be tough, how to drive, and how to be a man. I don't know if we have ever had a dull moment together. We either see eye to eye or not even close. You have the best stories, the best jokes, and most of all, you're kind of the best dad. I don't know how Mom has stayed with you for this long because honestly and truly, you're a kid at heart. If it wasn't for you, I would not be a state officer today because I still don't know how to tie a tie. Thank you for everything you do for our family, our farm, the community. I hope to be half the man you are one day. I love you, Dad. Lance, where do I even begin? It seems like it was just yesterday when you were born. Growing up, and still today, you've been pretty mean to me. But in all honesty, I wouldn't want it any other way. I know I can be mean sometimes, but I've came to the conclusion that little siblings get away with everything. Remember that time you kicked me in the face? I hope you remember now. Mom and Dad knows. Anyways, thank you for being my best friend. I would not give my truck to anyone else. I know we fight sometimes, but I wouldn't want it any other way. I love you, bud. Thank you for being amazing, and I'm still a better singer than you. Love, Cooper.
Dad, thank you for teaching me about hard work. Without your example to follow, I would not be so driven to achieve my goals. And thank you for supporting me in my goals as well. I know that you and Mom have both made sacrifices for my brother and me to have all that we need, and I appreciate that more than you'll ever know. I also want to thank you for teaching me how to be a man. You have set the best example. If you were only half as good of a dad as you are, then you would still be more than amazing. Thank you for everything. Mom, you have taught me what it means to love others. You have taught me how to be strong, even when it seems impossible. You have taught me how to be my best self, and that it is okay to make mistakes. Thank you for being the best mom in the world. I really can't come up with the words to express my gratitude, but for now, I'll just say thank you. Thank you for everything. You and Dad have done so much for me, and I love you with all of my heart. Case, thank you for all the memories growing up. Thank you for telling me I had to take an ag class my freshman year. But most importantly, thank you for showing me what not to do. Take care of Maddie and my precious niece, Isabella. Thank you for being the best brother you could be. Love, Jake.
For the past 4 years, I've cried like an absolute baby during each parent recognition. Well, today is the day I have to do the same for you. This may or may not be my second or third time trying to record this. Daddy, thank you for always pushing me to be the best version of myself. There's absolutely no question where I get my work ethic from. You're the hardest worker I know, and I'm extremely grateful to have a dad like you. Thank you for perfecting every little project and every silly idea with me. You and Mama are my biggest supporters. Mama, you're the greatest friend throughout my life. You're loving, understanding, and always patient. You're the best role model a girl can ever ask for. I cannot wait to share a lifetime of memories with you both. You always tell me that I'm your world. Well, you are my world too. Mama and Daddy, let's shoot for the stars together forever. Love, your superstar.
Mom and Dad, thank you for putting up with me and the boys all these years and always supporting me in whatever I decide to do. Mom, you are my go-to for everything, my shoulder to lean on, and one of my biggest supporters. You never fail to give me words of encouragement, boost my confidence, and give me advice, whether I take it or not. You have taken on so many roles in my life, including chauffeur, hair and makeup artist, photographer, livestock and horse show assistant, but most importantly, you're the best mom a girl could ask for. You have supported me through everything, and I'm forever grateful for your unending love. Dad, where do I start? You are one of the goofiest and funniest people I know. You never fail to make me laugh at any given moment or make me feel so loved. I will forever cherish all of our fishing trips, car rides, sushi dates, play fights, and hugs. You work so hard for our family, and it does not go unnoticed. I love you so much and will always be thankful for your support and love. Jacob and Austin, y'all are the reason my life is never boring. Both of you hold a very extra special place in my heart for being my big brothers and my biggest fans. Austin, you have been the best mentor and help to me when it comes to all things FFA. You always give me and this organization 110%. You have impacted so many lives, but you have impacted me the most. Jacob, you are always there for me in any way possible, whether it's making me laugh, giving me advice, or feeding Sage her body weight in peanut butter. I can always count on you. Thank you both for taking me on random trips to the hardware store, always being in for a good fight, and letting me crash y'all's classes at school. I know you're going to do amazing things. Thank you both for being the best big brothers on the planet and being such an example of hard work and determination. I love you. I thank the Lord every day for giving me such an amazing family. I will love y'all forever.
A simple thank you could never be enough for all you have done for each of us, but we shall use one anyways. Thank you, and we love you all.
Our success in the state is measured by a variety of factors, but one of the biggest reasons we in South Carolina have something to be proud of is our continuous growth in both quality and quantity of membership. Now we would like to recognize our chapters in the state who have especially excelled in recruitment and retention throughout this past year. We would like to extend a big congratulations to these chapters for such an amazing achievement. And as a symbol of our gratitude, all chapters will be receiving a plaque or spur. The advisors of 100+ membership chapters will also be receiving a gift. Madam Secretary, please read the names of the chapter membership award recipients.
90% membership are Greer and West Oak. 95% membership is Crestwood. We would like to make a special presentation for those chapters with 100% or 100% plus membership. Along with receiving a plaque or spur, these advisors will be receiving a gift. Chapters with 100% membership are Anderson 1 and 2 Career and Technology Center, Ashley Ridge, Barnwell County Career Center, Central, Chesterfield, Clinton, Conway, Dorchester County Career and Technology Center, Fort Mill, Gilbert, Latta, Lee County Career Center, Loris, McBee, Riverside Middle, W.J. Keenan, and WTC Kershaw. Chapters with 100% plus membership are Aner, Belton Honeypath, Calhoun Falls, Chester County Career Center, Colleton County, Crescent, Indian Land, Landrum, Lawrence, Lexington Technology Center, Lexington Richland 5, Manning, Midland Valley, Newberry County Career Center, Pillion, Pendleton, Pickens County Career and Technology Center, Socastee, Thurman, Union County Career and Technology Center, Wagner Sally, Walhalla, and York.
Thank you, Sydney. And we again congratulate each chapter for this outstanding achievement. And now I would like to welcome Jacob and Austin Cathcart for a special introduction.
Hello, I'm Austin Cathcart, and I'm Jacob Cathcart. Today we would like to take a few moments to introduce somebody and share some of our favorite memories of somebody who is so special to the both of us. You know her as your state FFA president, Kylie Cathcart. However, growing up, Kylie didn't always go by this name. See, me and Austin loved to torment her with all kinds of different names that she really didn't enjoy. Some of our favorite names included Wally, Pork Chop, My Little Darling, and our personal favorite, Deluncle. Somehow through all of this, Kylie still found a way to love us. Now, as you can imagine, growing up with two older brothers, me, Jacob, and Kylie did not always get along. There were several times that me and Jacob would just aggravate her to no end and push all of her buttons just to get her upset. Now, in the past years, we've become very close friends, and it's been a privilege to be her brothers and for her to be our sister. Growing up, we've watched Kylie become extremely hardworking and dedicated with everything that she does. These are just a few of the character traits that us as her brothers make it us so proud to call her our sister. She has danced and clogged since the age of 3, and somehow during high school she still found time for dance, horseback riding, and to excel in the FFA. Over the past year, people all across South Carolina and FFA members all across America have learned what it is that makes our sister so special. Her friendship and her ability to care for other people is unmatched. She is extremely hardworking and extremely smart. Her honesty and fairness set her apart. Now, these are all things that we all know quite well about Kylie. However, one thing that you may not know about her is that she is a multi-talented songwriter. Some of her hits include tracks titled Eye of the Boar Goat, Rocky Pot, Fancy Lady, and Buy Me a Goat. Next time you see Kylie, ask her to sing a few verses from her famous songs, or ask to see her interpretive dance to Mama's Broken Heart by Miranda Lambert. Now, we are extremely proud to call Kylie our sister. We are extremely proud of the young lady that she has become and extremely proud of the leader that she has become in the FFA. There's no doubt that she has changed lives in South Carolina this past year, and we both firmly believe that she will continue to touch lives all across the world in the coming years. The thing that makes us the proudest of her, though, is to call her our sister and to call her our best friend. At this time, it is our privilege to introduce to you, for the last time, with her retiring address, The Road Less Traveled, your state FFA president and our sister, Kylie Cathcart.
Wild winds whip and roll, nothing comes for free. Living takes its toll, you can't hide from the wisdom of an old soul. Time takes you to know the person that you were meant to be.
I can't do it. I can't live up to the standards that they've set. Their shoes are too big to fill. I'm never going to live up to them. I'm not going to be enough. I'm going to let people down.
Kylie, you are more than this. You can fill their shoes, but you don't have to. Make your own shoes and fill those. You'll go so much further in your own shoes than you will in anybody else's.
These were the words spoken to me by my dear friend and chapter officer at the time, Matthew Bonnet. Matt was like a big brother to me, but he was about to graduate. I had just been elected vice president of my FFA chapter, but I wasn't excited, I was terrified. I had been put in a position of leadership, and I didn't know what to do. I spent my first 2 years of high school hiding behind the success
of others. My brothers were chapter officers, so I stayed in their shadows. I didn't push myself or put myself out there. I was okay being just their little sister. They graduated, but their friends were there. I did the same thing. I followed in their footsteps and didn't stray off on my own path. I was so afraid of failure that I was trying to be someone that I was not. I was too afraid to take a step of courage onto my own path, the road less traveled. But these words gave me hope. In Matthew's advice, he said 3 main things. The first being, you can fill their shoes, but you don't have to. I could spend my life trying to be someone I'm not, but I'm good enough on my own. Second, he said, make your own shoes and fill those. Don't limit yourself by the standards of others, but become the standard. And finally, he said, make your own shoes and walk in them. You will go much farther on your own than you will in anyone else's shoes. I could do it. I could have my own success, and it might not look like I thought. My journey might be different than those around me, but I would succeed if I pushed through. But I was so stuck in my head and caught up in being something I wasn't. And that reminds me of a time when I was only 2 years old. It was Halloween, and I was going to be a dog. And not just any dog, I was going to be the best Dalmatian puppy you had ever seen. And I think I did a pretty good job. See, I put on my fur coat and had my mom paint me a nice black dog nose, and I looked just like a Dalmatian. I even got down on all fours. I barked like a dog. I sounded like a Dalmatian. And I wanted so badly to be that Dalmatian. But the reality is I would never get there. I was never going to be that dog that I imagined when I was 2 years old. When you take off the costume and look underneath, it was just me. In life, we do this all the time. And when we grow up, we might not be pretending to be dogs anymore, but we try to imitate those around us. There's nothing wrong with a little childish pretending, but it becomes an issue when it becomes an obsession. We try to do exactly what those around us do because we feel like we have to look, be, or act a certain way to be accepted or respected in society. But I have some news for you. If you live your life trying to be someone else, you're never going to get there. You're never going to be enough because you will never be the best version of someone else. But I have some good news too. And listen to this. No one, and I mean no one else, will ever be the best version of you. So what fear is stopping you from accepting yourself for who you truly are and telling yourself that you are enough? What is holding you back from that? Now, let's go back in time to not so long ago when me and my best friend Maggie were juniors in high school. We were tired of school. We wanted to get out. So we did. One Saturday morning, we hopped in her car, we got our GPS, and we were off on an adventure. Maggie hikes all the time, so she picked out a nice trail for us to go hike in Jones Gap State Park. We eagerly drove to the park, and when we got there, we jumped out of her car. We had our backpacks, our water, our snacks, and our hiking shoes, and we were ready to hit the trail. We were walking and talking, and the trail wasn't that hard. It was clearly marked, and you could tell people had been there before. It wasn't too steep, and before long, we made it to the base of this beautiful waterfall. We looked around, took in the view, and right as we were about to turn back, we decided we wanted to see a little bit more. We wanted to go a little bit farther and test the limits. So we looked around, and there it was. What we thought was the beginnings of a new trail. What we didn't know was that this trail was going to take us on an unexpected journey, and we would doubt our decisions. We could have stayed at the bottom, which is what the world would have told us to do. Other hikers would say, follow the signs, and when you get to the end, go back. But this is just an example of a standard. We have standards every day in our lives, standards by others and standards set by ourselves. It's good to hold ourselves to high standards, but often we let our standards limit us. We view our standards as ceilings that are meant to be met and then stop there. But if you live your life simply meeting the standards, you are always going to fall short of fulfillment. Standards are in fact not meant to be met, but they're meant to be broken. And why settle for meeting a standard when you were meant for so much more? It's when you push those boundaries and break those standards that you become a new standard that others will try and follow. Me and Maggie didn't let the standards of what we were supposed to do on the hike stop us. We were going to make our own path. What standards are stopping you from the journey that lie ahead? What standards have you met but not broken? Now you might be wondering how the rest of our journey that day went. And like I said, it was very unexpected. But we were determined. So we started on this trail, and it took a turn for the worse. We quickly noticed that it was not a trail at all. But like I said, we wanted to go and explore. So we climbed and we fell. And we moved forward and we slipped backwards. And a few hours in, we doubted our decision and we thought about giving up. At one point, I was on my hands and knees between two rock ledges, and Maggie was saying, Kylie, stop. Don't go there. You don't know what's around that corner. No one has been there. We should go back to the bottom. And I doubted myself too. I looked down, saw how far I had to fall. But I also saw how far we had come. I said, I got this. Follow me. Slowly but surely, we made our way through. And then we heard something. Sounded like the waterfall was just a little bit louder. And the ground around was just slightly more wet than it was a few feet back. So we went a little further, pushed a little harder, and went past what we thought was our limit. And there we were. When we started this journey, we didn't know what our destination would be, but we were sure that this was it. When you looked behind, there was a stream that trickled over the edge of the rocks and fed into the waterfall. There was vegetation and life everywhere that sprouted from this fresh source of water. You see, all of a sudden, we forgot about the hardships. We forgot about the doubt. We forgot about the pain because the view made it all worthwhile. In our lives, we take a similar journey. If we take the first step to go out on our own path, even though it is a path less traveled by others, then we will eventually reach our destination, but it's not easy. You'll come into challenges. Everyone will come into hardships and doubt themselves and want to turn back. But you have a choice to make. You can listen to the doubt inside your mind and go back. But you won't reach your full potential where you're meant to be. It is when you take those challenges face on and you roll with the punches and you don't give up that you will find yourself on top of the mountain. And when you reach that, you'll look back and be proud of how far you've come, and you know it will all be worthwhile. So my question to you is, what challenges are stopping you from reaching your full potential, from getting to your final destination? This is one of my favorite memories with Maggie. I can look back and be proud of what we did. And in life, we want to look back and be proud on the decisions we've made and the growth we've had. When I was a sophomore in high school, I would have never imagined where I am today. I was so caught up in my own head, saying, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to live up to what other people think. And I'm going to let others down. That I let it physically stop me. I let it keep me from opportunities that I had in high school. But when I pushed that doubt to the side, and I changed my mindset to where I said, I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to accept myself. I'm going to break the standards and face the challenges with every bit I have in me. That is when I grew. I've come so far, and you can too. You can fill their shoes, but you don't have to. You're enough. Make your own shoes and fill those. Become the new standard. You'll go so much farther in your own shoes than anyone else's. And the view from the top will make all of the struggles worth it. So South Carolina FFA, I dare you to accept yourself for who you are and believe that you are enough. I dare you to push farther and break the standards that others have set. And I dare you to face challenges head on and persevere with every bit you have in you. Because when you get to the top, you will look back and you will be glad that you did. South Carolina FFA members, will you let your doubt and your fear stop you and define you? Or will you take a step of courage on the road less traveled and let that make the difference in your life?
You can't ever hide wisdom of an old soul. Time takes you to know the person you were meant to be.
Kylie, being gullible can get the best of you sometimes, but your contagious laugh always makes up for it. Your ability to be supportive and encouraging in all times is admirable. We love you always. Love, Cooper, Matthew, Jake, Virginia, and Sydney. South Carolina FFA, your state president, Kylie Cathcart.
CDEs have always been a favorite to many members and are filled with excitement and good times. These past few weeks, many members have been competing in various CDEs virtually. They have done their best and have now reached the moment that they have been waiting for. We are now going to recognize those students and their advisors who have excelled in these CDEs by announcing our top 3 individuals and top 3 teams in the state. Sydney, will you recognize these participants?
Madam Vice President, I am pleased to introduce this year's Career Development Event winners. For the Agricultural Mechanics CDE, there is a tie for the 3rd high individual. They are Catherine Miller and Luke Barnhill of the Lexington Richland 5 chapter. There is a tie for individual high score between Quentin Smith and Austin Moore of the Belton Honea chapter. The top 3 teams in agricultural mechanics are Belton Honea, Lexington Richland 5, and McBee. The 3rd place team is the McBee FFA chapter. Our 2nd place team is the Lexington Richland 5 FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Belton Honea FFA chapter. Congratulations. For our agronomy CDE, our 3rd high individual is Weston Sanifer of the Barnwell County Career Center FFA chapter. The 2nd highest individual is Preston Graham of the Aner FFA chapter. And the highest individual score is Damian Graham of the Aner FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in agronomy are Aner, Barnwell, and McBee. The 3rd place team is the McBee FFA chapter. 2nd place team is the Barnwell County Career Center FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Aner FFA chapter. Congratulations. For our conduct of chapter, the top 2 teams in conduct of chapter are Manning Middle FFA, Riverside Middle FFA. The 2nd place team is the Riverside Middle FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Manning Middle FFA chapter. Congratulations. For our dairy evaluation CDE, the 3rd highest individual is Mary Hopkins of the Clover FFA chapter. Tied for 1st place high individual is Madison Adams and Carly Hall of the Clover FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in dairy evaluation are Clover, Indian Land, and Lexington Technology Center. Third place team is the Indian Land FFA chapter. Second place team is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Clover FFA chapter. Congratulations! In our Farm Business Management CDE, our third highest individual is Macy Adams of the Aner FFA chapter. Second highest individual is Lacey Latham of the Thurman FFA chapter. And the individual high score is Lonnie McKenzie of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in Farm Business Management are Aner, Lexington Technology Center, and Thurman. Our third place team is the Thurman FFA chapter. The second place team is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Aner FFA chapter. Congratulations! For our Floriculture CDE, we have a tie for the third high individual, Bailey Kay of the Pendleton FFA chapter and Noelle Numpf of the Belton Honeypath FFA chapter. There was a tie for the individual high score, Mallory Carroll and Madison Arnold of the Pendleton FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in Floriculture are Belton Honeypath, Lexington Technology Center, and Pendleton. The third place team is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. Second place team is the Belton Honeypath FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Pendleton FFA chapter. Congratulations! In our Forestry CDE, there was a tie for high individual, Sydney Maynard, Nathan Clement, and Allison Foxworth of the Crestwood FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in Forestry are Crestwood, Fort Mill, and the Lexington Technology Center. The third place team is the Fort Mill FFA chapter. The second place team is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Crestwood FFA chapter. Congratulations! In our Horse Evaluation CDE, third high individual is Catherine Dorsey of the Belton Honeypath FFA chapter. The second highest individual is Veronica Courtville from the Lawrence FFA chapter. And the individual with the highest score is Christian Wellham of the Lawrence FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in horse evaluation are Clinton, Lawrence, and the Lexington Technology Center. Third place team is the Clinton FFA chapter. The second place team is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Lawrence FFA chapter. Congratulations! For the Livestock Judging CDE, we have a tie for third highest individual, Christian Wilhelm of the Lawrence FFA chapter and Sarah Herring of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. There was a tie for the highest individual score with Haley Williams and Lonnie McKenzie of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. The top three teams in livestock judging are Fort Mill, Lawrence, and the Lexington Technology Center. Third place team is the Fort Mill FFA chapter. The second place team is the Lawrence FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. Congratulations! In our meat evaluation CDE, third highest individual is Brianna Chavis of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. The second highest individual is Dorothy Dissolve of the Colleton County FFA chapter. And the individual high score is Riley Rogers of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in meat evaluation are Colleton County, Lexington Technology Center, and Midland Valley. The third place team is the Midland Valley FFA chapter. The second place team is the Colleton County FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. Congratulations! In our Milk Quality and Products CDE, third high individual is Caroline Drennan of the Fort Mill FFA chapter. And there is a tie for individual high score with Isabella Anderson of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter and Abby Goodley of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in milk quality and products are Fort Mill, Lexington Technology Center, and Seneca. Third place team is the Seneca FFA chapter. The second place team is the Fort Mill FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. Congratulations. In the Nursery Landscape CDE, the third highest individual is Alex Buffkin of the Green C. Floyd's FFA chapter. The second high individual is Shade Rimbert of the Lee County Career Center FFA chapter. And the individual with the highest score is Istis Hodge of the Indian Land FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in horse evaluation are Green C. Floyd's, Indian Land, and Lee County Career Center. The third place team is the Lee County Career Center FFA chapter. The second place team is the Indian Land FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Green C. Floyd's FFA chapter. Congratulations. The top 2 teams in parliamentary procedure are Calhoun Falls and Crestwood. The second place team is the Calhoun Falls FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Crestwood FFA chapter. In our poultry judging CDE, the third highest individual is Deborah Billings of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. The second high individual is Sarah Herring of the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. And the individual with the highest score is Naomi Reyna of the Lakewood FFA chapter. The top 3 teams in poultry judging are Lakewood, Lexington Technology Center, and Midland Valley. The third place team is the Midland Valley FFA chapter. The second place team is the Lakewood FFA chapter. And our state winner is the Lexington Technology Center FFA chapter. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of our CDE and LDE award winners. A year ago, 5 others and I stood on this stage. We had no idea what to expect next. Come to find out, it would be a year full of laughter, fun, stress, and all-around good times. My team and I have become closer than friends. We are family. We wish we could wear our jackets forever and ever and never stop serving this organization. However, it is time for us to relinquish our duties and offices to the next group of individuals. For the past 2 weeks, 16 dedicated members have been put through countless interviews, taken tests, and given speeches in an attempt to become part of the next state officer team. I now call on your state president, Kylie Cathcart, to assume the duties of the chair.
I would like to introduce Kaden Gates from the Nation Ford FFA chapter to give the report as chairperson of the nominating committee.
Good morning. My name is Kaden Gates from the Nation Ford FFA chapter, and this week I had the opportunity to serve as the 2020 nominating committee chairperson. The committee and the candidates have worked extremely hard this past week. I would now like to introduce my fellow nominating committee members. Representing Region 1, Ethan Hawkins from the Anderson FFA chapter. Representing Region 2, Savannah Wynn from the Abbeville FFA chapter. Representing Region 3, Olivia Geese from the Indian Land FFA chapter, and Elizabeth May from the Conway FFA chapter. Representing Region 4, Nolan Savarse from the Battery Creek FFA chapter. I would like to thank each one of them for their dedication and hard work. Now, the moment you have been waiting for. May I have the music and the lights, please? The 2020 Nominating Committee moves that the following slate of FFA officers be accepted for the 2020-2021 State Officer Team. Vice President serving as Sentinel, representing Region 4, is Lee Paget from the Pelion FFA chapter. Vice President serving as Reporter, representing Region 1, is Ashlyn Patterson from the Seneca FFA chapter. Vice President serving as Treasurer, representing Region 1, is Addison Lyles from the West Oak FFA chapter. Vice President serving as Vice President, representing Region 2, is Gunnar Black from the York FFA chapter. The 2020-2021 State FFA Secretary is Allison Foxworth from the Crestwood FFA chapter. And your 2020-2021 State FFA President is Gracie Helms from the Central FFA chapter.
From the delegate body, we have a motion, a second, and a vote in the affirmative, accepting the nominating committee report as read. Congratulations to the newly elected 2020-2021 South Carolina State FFA officers.
To my teammates, thank you for the best year of my life. Over these past 12 months, I've grown closer to each one of you, and I am so glad that we had the amazing opportunity to work together. It has been fun seeing each of you grow into the awesome leader and person that you are today. Thanks for the memories and the unforgettable times we've shared. Love always, Jake.
Kylie, Jake, Virginia, Cooper, and Matt, thank you for being the best friends in the entire world for the past year. I'm going to miss seeing you almost every month so much, but I know that you all will do great things, and I can't wait to keep in touch for the rest of our lives. I love you, and I've appreciated every piece of advice, every laugh, and every moment that we've shared together. Love always, Sydney.
Sydney, Cooper, Matt, Jake, and Virginia. Thank you all for making this past year so amazing and for being the best friends I could have ever asked for. I couldn't imagine going through this past year with anyone else by my side. I will forever cherish all of the laughs, memories, and be grateful for the lifetime of friendship I know that we'll have together. Y'all are the best and have helped me grow in so many ways. Thank you for everything. I love you.
To my team, I don't really know where I would be today if it wasn't for the 5 of you. You guys have impacted my life like no other. I am so thankful, and I thank God every day that I have been able to be a part of this year's team with the 5 of you. You guys have changed me and made me into a better person. With that being said, thank you for everything. I love each and every one of you. Love, Cooper.
So much for the laughs and memories that we have made this year. Thank you for always being there when I need someone to talk to and for always putting up with my crazy ideas. God knew what he was doing when he put us all on a team together. Love you all forever. VCAC out.
To my teammates, thank y'all for being an inspiration in my life. Each of you have left a major impact on my life. At the start of our paths, we barely knew each other. Now that we've conquered a mountain together, y'all aren't just friends anymore. You're my family. We've all shared some important moments together, and now that they're memories, I realized how blessed I am to have spent the last year with you 5. Kylie, Sydney, Cooper, Jake, and Virginia. The time in the blue jacket for us is over, but the lifetime of friendship we will share together has only begun. I love y'all so much. Love always, Matt.
Thank you, SCFFA, for all the fun memories that we had. Never be afraid to let your light shine.
Thank you, South Carolina FFA, for all the wonderful experiences throughout my year of service. And don't forget to follow the journey to being you.
South Carolina FFA, thank you so much for an amazing year. Remember to always create your own path and go out and climb your mountain.
South Carolina FFA, thank you for an amazing year of service. Always remember, no matter what happens in your life, keep your faith strong and always continue to press forward.
Thank you, South Carolina FFA, for being a joy in my life for so many years. I can't wait to see you all root for each other.
South Carolina FFA, it has truly been an honor to serve you this past year. Have the courage to take the road less traveled. Thank you all for watching our 93rd annual South Carolina FFA State Convention. We can't wait to meet all of our new officers, and we'll see you soon. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Madam President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly become before this session? We are about to adjourn this session of the 93rd South Carolina FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to others, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.